Solution of section C of exercise 1 of circular motion. So here we have questions from circular motion in horizontal plane. So first question is, a string breaks if its tension exceeds 10 Newton. So maximum tension possible is 10 Newton. A stone of mass 250 gram tied to this string of length 10 centimeter and is rotated about a horizontal circle. The maximum angular velocity of rotation can be. So if it is moving in a horizontal circle, the tension will provide the necessary centripetal force, and that tension is maximum T is equal to 10 Newton. So this particle is moving in a circle like this, and this tension is providing the necessary centripetal force. Mass is equal to 250 gram and the length of the string is 10 centimeter. Clear? It is 10 centimeter. So the necessary centripetal force will be m omega square r or mv square by r. So here they have asked us the maximum angular velocity of rotation. So we will take m omega square r is equal to necessary centripetal force, which is provided by tension, which is maximum कितना है 10 Newton. This is fixed, this is fixed. So if we keep the force maximum, we can have the maximum angular velocity, and maximum force is 10 Newton. So 250 into 10 to the power minus 3 into omega square we have to find out, into 10 into 10 to the power minus 2. This is in centimeter, this is in gram, is equal to 10 Newton. So from here we have got omega square is equal to 10 to the power minus 5 divided by, this is 250. 10 to the power minus 5 plus 5, here it will go, divided by 250. So 10 to the power 4 divided by 25, omega will be equal to 100 divided by 5, it is 20 radians per second. Clear? So maximum omega which the stone can have is 20 radian per second. Question number C2. A particle moving along a circular path due to a centripetal force having constant magnitude is an example of motion with. So a particle moving in circular path with due to a centripetal force having constant magnitude is constant magnitude of what? Centripetal force. So centripetal force is F is equal to mv square by r. So particle moving along a circular path, and this is constant force. So option 1, constant speed and velocity. So velocity, whichever option have constant velocities, those options are wrong. So first option is wrong, because in circular motion you cannot have a constant velocity. Direction is always changing. Second, variable speed and velocity. So if centripetal force is constant, we are moving the object in a circular path. So circular path is fixed, r is fixed. So if F is constant, speed is constant. Speed is constant. If F is constant, speed is constant, because m and r are already constant. So v is constant. So second option is variable speed and velocity. Variable speed? No. Third, variable speed and constant velocity. Again wrong, because they are saying constant velocity. Fourth, constant speed and variable velocity. Yes, the speed will be constant but velocity will be variable. Question number C3. A stone of mass 0.5 kg tied with a string of length 1 meter is moving in a circular path. So here we have radius 1 meter. Speed is given 4 meter per second. Stone of mass 0.5 kg. So we have to tell tension in the string. So question I will read one more time. A stone of mass 0.5 kg tied with a string of length 1 meter is moving in a circular path with a speed of 4 meter per second. Then tension in the string. So we are rotating this stone like this. So again the tension will provide the necessary centripetal force. So it is tension will be equal to m omega square r or m v square by r. So here they have given v, so we will write this equation. So m is half, v square is 16 divided by r is 1. So it will be 8 Newton. Here, so tension developed in the string will be 8 Newton. The formula for centripetal acceleration in a circular motion is alpha cross r, omega cross v, alpha cross v, omega cross r. So I had derived this. So when we are talking about the circular motion, so any motion, it will have some linear velocity, linear speed, linear acceleration, angular speed, angular velocity, angular acceleration. So here we want to find out the complete, I am trying to find out the complete acceleration. So let's say a particle is moving in a circular path having speed v, ठीक है, and angular velocity omega, radius r, all those variables we have. And now I want to find out the complete acceleration of that particle. Complete acceleration. Now we know when the object is moving in a circular path, there are two acceleration. An acceleration which is towards the center and an acceleration which is tangential, always tangential. So we have given names. Centripetal, because it was always towards the center, so we have given the names. But the total acceleration of the particle will be tangential plus centripetal. So now I want to find out the acceleration of the particle. So acceleration is dv by dt. This we know from the first chapter of the physics, kinematics. So A is equal to dv by dt. Now we know that in circular motion we can write V is equal to omega cross r. V is equal to omega cross r. This we can write. Now I want to find out A. So A will be dv divided by dt. So dv is omega cross r divided by dt. Clear? So now from here we have two vectors which are in product. So what we'll do? We'll apply product rule. So A is equal to, first I am differentiating omega, keeping r constant. So what I write, and I cannot change the sequence in cross product. So what I write? Integration of this, differentiation of this cross this. So d omega by dt cross r. I cannot change the sequence. If we have only magnitude, we can change the sequence. But here we cannot, because it's a cross product. If you do r cross omega, it will be different. If you do omega cross r, it will be different. So first I am differentiating this, keeping this constant, plus differentiating this, keeping this constant. So omega cross dr by dt. And this is what? This is the alpha cross r plus omega. And what is this? Many students were confused how we can call this as velocity of the particle. So if you see, we have an object which is performing circular motion. So this is the origin, and from here this is the position vector of object. In any coordinate system, if object is kept here, we will say this is the position vector of object. If this is the position, this will be the position vector of object. So this is the origin, and when object is kept here, its position vector is like this. Now if you are seeing this circular motion, radius is constant. भाई circle है, distance of object from origin is constant. It is always r. But if you talk about the vector, then you will see direction also. So if you see, this is a different vector. This is a different vector. All are having same distance from origin, but these are different vectors, different position vectors. So this is a one position vector. This is another position vector. Again different position vector. Again different position vector. So when the object is performing the circular motion, its position vector is changing. And in kinematics we have studied thousand times that change in position vector or rate of change of position vector. If object is moving from here to here in some time t, then rate of change of position vector, it means r final minus r initial is equal to r final minus r initial divided by time is equal to the velocity of the object. So here also in circular motion the object is changing its position vector. So rate of change of position vector is nothing but the velocity. So here we will write omega cross v. So this is nothing but A tangential. This is A tangential. This alpha is responsible for changing the magnitude of omega. Changing the magnitude of omega. And this acceleration is tangential acceleration. Omega की magnitude को बढ़ा रहा है. अभी भी the particle is moving in the same circle, but slowly the omega is increasing. Clear? So this is tangential acceleration because it is increasing the magnitude. And this one is centripetal acceleration. ठीक है? और इसका अगर हम डायरेक्शन भी देखें तो क्या आएगा? This is r vector. This is r vector. Now let's say alpha is positive. मतलब आपका अल्फा जो है वो ओमेगा के ही डायरेक्शन में है. ठीक है? तो ओमेगा के ही डायरेक्शन में if v and a, velocity and acceleration are in the same direction, velocity will increase. If angular velocity and angular acceleration are in the same direction, angular velocity will increase. So let's say omega is like this. So it is outside and alpha is also outward. So if we do this, alpha cross r, किधर आ रहा है? Upward. Alpha cross r, this is A tangential. And ये कैसा आ रहा है? If we are finding out it at this point. So r is in this direction, alpha is in this direction. So I did alpha cross r. कैसा आया? Upward. So A tangential is in this direction and velocity is also in this direction. So basically it is going to increase the magnitude of velocity. And if you see this omega cross v, so omega is outside and at this point v is like this. So omega cross v कैसा आया? In this direction. ओमेगा क्रॉस v इस साइड आया and this direction is, मतलब यहाँ पे दिखाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. ओमेगा क्रॉस v अगर यहाँ पे आया, it is towards the center. At this point omega cross v is towards the center and the force or the acceleration which is towards the center, this is called centripetal acceleration. So omega cross v is towards center and this alpha cross r is tangential. So this is tangential acceleration and this is centripetal acceleration. So centripetal acceleration can be represented by omega cross v and tangential acceleration is alpha cross r. So answer will be second option. Question number C5. A stone is moved around a horizontal circle with 20 cm long string tied to it. If centripetal acceleration is 9.8 meter per second square, then its angular velocity will be. So again here we have F centripetal is equal to m omega square r. So F centripetal is, okay, A centripetal is given, centripetal acceleration is given, so it can be written as omega square r. If they are asking angular velocity, then write omega square r. If they are asking linear velocity, then write v square by r. So A centripetal is 9.8. Omega square, we will have to find out this. R is given as 20 centimeter into omega square. So from here we will have omega square is equal to 49 and omega is equal to 7 radians per second. Clear? 7 radians per second. A particle of mass m is executing a uniform motion along a circular path of radius r. Uniform motion along a circular path of radius r. If the magnitude of its linear momentum is p, linear momentum will be m into v. Linear momentum is m into v and here v is constant. Speed is constant because uniform circular motion hai. The radial force acting on the particle will be, radial force will be what? mv square by r. So now from here we can write Fc is equal to m by r into v is p by m. So it will be equal to p square by m r. F centripetal will be equals to p square by m r. So simply what I did, I have put the value of v from here in this equation. Question number C7. A particle moves in a circular orbit under the action of a central attractive force. Central attractive force means centripetal force which is inversely proportional to r. Inversely proportional to r. So I can write F is equal to k by r. The speed of the particle is, what will be the speed of particle? So this is S centripetal. S centripetal can be written as mv square by r is equal to k by r. So from here we will have v square is equal to k by m or v is equal to root k by m. So they are asking the velocity will be, the speed of the particle is proportional to r square? No. Independent of r? Yes. There is no term of r in v. So v is independent of r. Proportional to r? No. Proportional to 1 by r? No. It is independent of r. Question number C8. A particle of mass m is moving in a horizontal circle of radius r under a centripetal force equals to minus k by r square. Under a centripetal force equals to minus k by r square. The total kinetic energy of the particle is. So if we talk about, so we have to find out the total kinetic energy of the particle is. So centripetal force is given, centripetal force is mv square by r. So now here this minus shows the direction, because if we see here m is positive, r is positive, v square is positive. So here when we will write this mv square by r, so this is going to be k by r square. Here minus is showing the direction. Clear? So now I want to find out the total kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is what? Half m v square. Can I find out mv square from this? Yes. If you cancel this, we will get mv square. Mv square is k by r. So half mv square is k by 2r. Half mv square is k by 2r. So total kinetic energy of the particle will be k by 2r. Kinetic energy of the particle is k by 2r. Now let's see the section D. It has questions from radius of curvature. Question number D1 is a particle of mass m is moving with constant velocity on a smooth horizontal surface. So it is moving with a constant velocity v on a smooth horizontal surface. A constant force F starts acting on the particle perpendicular to its velocity. A force F started acting on the particle perpendicular to its velocity. Radius of the curvature after force F starts acting is. So what I had told, when you want to find out the radius of curvature. So when we are talking about the circular motion, the particle is moving like this and this is the radius of curvature. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे this is the speed of the particle and some force is acting on it which is trying to turn this object or turn this particle in a circular path. So the force which is responsible for turning this object into a circular path is this force, this centripetal force. So if there is some force in this direction, it will simply increase or decrease the velocity of the object, the magnitude, clear? But the force which is responsible for turning its or changing its direction is centripetal force. So अगर ये force बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा होगा तो बहुत जल्दी आप टर्न हो जाओगे, अगर कम होगा तो आपका जो टर्न होगा वो थोड़ा धीरे धीरे होगा, क्लियर? So this force is responsible कि in which radius you are going to turn, कि आपके कर्व का the curve which you are going to make वो कर्वेचर उसका कितना होगा, it depends on this force. So when you want to find out the radius of curvature for the particle, हमको किस पे फोकस करना है, velocity के perpendicular direction में force या velocity के perpendicular direction में acceleration, clear? And velocity के perpendicular direction में जो force है उसको लिखो mv square by r और velocity के perpendicular direction में अगर acceleration given है तो उसको लिखो v square by r या फिर omega square r and this is m omega square r, clear? Because this is the force which is going to tell you कि what is the radius of your curvature, ठीक है? The curve in which you are moving, what is the radius of it? So the force which is perpendicular to the direction of velocity, आप बढ़िया इधर जा रहे थे, suddenly a force started changing your direction. Which force will change your direction? The force which is perpendicular to the direction of your velocity. So for finding out the radius of curvature, we have to focus on the force which is perpendicular to the velocity, clear? So here we have this force. Now equate this force with mv square by r, clear? So now r we want to find out, so radius of curvature will be mv square by f, simply, clear है? So जो भी radius जब आपको निकालनी है तो simply see what force is there or what acceleration is there in the direction perpendicular to the velocity, perpendicular to your velocity. So radius of curvature will be mv square by f. Question number D2. If the radii of circular paths of two particles of same masses are in the ratio of 1:2. So radius r1:r2 is given as 1:2. Then in order to have same centripetal force, their speeds should be in the ratio of. So what they are saying, we have two particles of same masses and they are moving along the circular paths which are having radius in the ratio 1:2. So let's say it is something like this. This is r1 and this is r2. So r1:r2 is 1:2. So one is moving in this circular path, another one is moving in this circular path. So they will have some centripetal forces on them. So they are saying that if they are having the centripetal force equal, if both are going to have same centripetal force, then what should be the ratio of their velocities? Clear है? So दोनों पे हम same centripetal force लगा रहे हैं, तो उनकी velocities क्या होंगी? So centripetal force क्या होता है? mv square by r. Clear? So F1 is equal to m1 v1 square by r1 square and F2 is m2 v2 square by r2 just r2, not r2 square. So now F1 is equal to F2. हमें तो यही given है, both centripetal forces are same. So ये तो cancel हो गया. m1 is equal to m2. So ये भी cancel हो गया. So now what we can write? v2 square by v1 square is equal to v2 square by v1 square is equal to r2 by r1. So v2 by v1 is equal to r2 by root r2 by r1. We have to find out v1 by v2. So it will be root r1 by r2. Root r1 by r2 is nothing but root 1 by 2. So ratio will be 1 is to root 2. 1 is to root 2. Question number D3. A particle is moving in a horizontal circle with constant speed. It has constant velocity? No. Acceleration? No. Kinetic energy? Yes. Displacement? No. So it is moving in a horizontal circle with constant speed. Speed is constant, but velocity is all the time changing. Acceleration is all the time changing. But kinetic energy is half mv square. If magnitude of v is constant, kinetic energy is going to remain constant. And displacement, तो वो कर ही रहा है तो displacement तो constant है नहीं, ठीक है ना? So here we have constant kinetic energy when particle is moving in a uniform circular motion.